Elementary of Taylorville. This is your president, Taylor. I'm here to discuss issues surrounding the global pandemic that we're going through, and I want you guys to understand that we have your best interest at stake. That being said, I want you to know how we're making our decisions as a country. We based our decision making off of a model called Room-Netanyahu model, and I'm going to explain to you what this is. This model is designed to help leaders make decisions and not create dictatorships. We make decisions a lot quicker using this model, and it gives us a diagnostic tool to process and create consistency and order. This helps us run smoother as a country. I want us to go over, first of all, what type of leader I consider myself to be, and that would be a servant leader. This means that I put priority on serving others, providing resources, providing support, and removing obstacles. That being said, during this pandemic, I want to remove any obstacles you may have in regards to getting the vaccine or tests. I pride myself on empowering others, demonstrating humility, and showing authenticity and interpersonal acceptance. Moving on, we're going to go over how exactly this model works. So this model creates a more productive workplace by breaking decision-making into 3 styles. The first style is the autocratic leadership. There are 2 different parts that this style talks about. This means that leaders make their decisions alone. So A1 is when a leader uses the information they have to make a decision without any help. A2 means that a leader gathers information from employees and then ultimately makes the decision alone. Style 2 is consultative. This means that employees influence the decision of the leader, but they don't really have much impact. So C1 means that the leader informs individual employees on decision making and gets their opinions and then makes ultimately the decision on their own. And C2 is when the leader gets employees together as a group to discuss the issue and gets feedback, but then ultimately makes the decision on their own. Style 3 is collaborative leadership. This is what I mainly do as a servant leader. This is when I bring all employees together and we make a decision together and come to a common consensus. So we're going to look at 2 of the main decisions that we had to make as a country. Decision 1 was whether or not to ban the pilgrimage. When I look at the Room-Netanyahu model, it helps guide me into how to make this decision. So the first question asked in this model is the quality of the decision important? I believe anything in a pandemic is extremely important, so I said yes. The second question was, is the team commitment important for the decision? I believe yes. So that takes me to a third question. It says, do you have enough information to make a decision on your own? I said no. I think there's a lot of questions around this pilgrimage, so I said no, and it took me to another question, and it said, is the problem well structured? Again, I said no. That took me to a 5th question. It said, would the team support your decision if you made it alone? I know throughout the last 3 years as your loyal leader, we have made all of our decisions together. So I said no. And that took me to another question. It says, does the team share the organizational goals? I know we have the same values as a country, and we pride ourselves on that, so I said yes. And that took me to style 3 of leadership, which is collaborative, which means that we work together to come up with a decision to yes, ban the pilgrimage, and I think it was the right decision. The next decision we had to make was whether or not to go public with the faulty tests. So I look at the Room-Netanyahu model, and it says, is the quality of this decision important? And I said, yes, very important. So it took me to a second question. This was, is team commitment important for the decision? I believe in a situation like this where healthy people are getting put into quarantine with sick people and ultimately dying, that your decision is not as important as me making a quick one. So I said no. And that took me to another question, and it said, do you have enough information to make the decision on your own? And I believe with the amount of health experts I've talked to, yes, I have enough information, so I said yes. And that took me to ultimately style 1A1, which is autocratic leadership, and I did it all on my own without involving anyone else in my decision making. And I think this was the right decision. And that is all for today, folks. Thank you for listening to the Global News. Stay safe out there.